Gladiorum, you have completed your duty. A new dawn is about to rise. Why not swim towards it?
You died long ago, Imperator. Depart from my mind.
But your duty towards the Imperator did not die with me. That duty will bind you no more. You will be able to hold for yourself one grandiose feast after another in the endless days to come. So go. Go and swim towards that ocean beyond the sky with the Deliverer.
Is this?
A page out of that sidekick's book. I commanded her to gift this page to you when everything finally reaches the end.
What's on this page?
Memories. Lifelike memories. That sidekick found me after the bloody feast 1,000 years ago and showed me her diary. I saw within that notebook Is this that Deliverer's experience? It's truly immersive.
People beyond the sky apparently utilize this power to seal past scenery into crystals they call light cones. But I only know so much about the remembrance, so I can't completely replicate the past. But I'll do my best to talk about the missing parts.
I'm all ears. Go on then. Do your best. But if your chatter gets too boring, or if I deem it offensive, then law will become forever beyond your reach.
Got it. I'm sure you'll find this to your liking. After all, it's human nature to want to embark on a journey into the unknown.
What brightly colored annals. The journey of the Deliverer's conquest. Let me partake in it. Is this a fortress in the sky?
This is the first step of my friend's journey among the starry seas. This place is called the Herta Space Station. Just think of it as a supersized grove of Epiphany.
Oh, so it's the territory of that witch. She and another Antikytherian lent me a helping hand back at the banquet.
Look, over there! Looks like he's talking to Madame Herta in his memory. Let's go listen to what she thinks about this world, all constructed by eons and paths.
Are you telling me that woman is Herta? She seems shorter than I remember.
Pretty nice space station, huh? But just wait. After a couple more stops on the Astral Express, you'll see sights that'll make this place look ordinary. Oh, the cosmos is so vast that the unknowns far outnumber the knowns. But none of them will end up being anything amazing. The farther you go, the more you'll understand what I mean. So do your best with the nameless. Break a leg! And remember to send an update or two to Asta when you've got some downtime.
She certainly shares my way of thinking. Only that instead of a conquest through blood and fire, they chose a gentler path.
People call Madame Herta and Mr. Screwlum geniuses. Apparently, only the smartest people in the cosmos can receive the blessings of Nous, Amphoreus' true creator.
Do you mean that even individuals of such nobility are merely subordinates to a god?
On the contrary, after all, it was the very first of them who created the god. But I don't really know all the details about that. You might be able to ask Madame Herta herself when you get the chance. Let's go check out some other worlds next, shall we?
Oh, the cosmos is so vast that the unknowns far outnumber the knowns. But none of them will end up being anything amazing. The farther you go, the more you'll understand what I mean.
This next stop on the journey has a lot of similarities to Amphoreus.
A snow-covered land? Interesting.
This star is named Eurillo 6. That name sounds so cold. Belobog sounds better. The girl we see here holds a similar station to you, Imperator. She's the supreme guardian of this world, a leader who took up the mantle of government during a disaster.
I did not expect the Empress of this world to be so young.
Well, your appearance isn't much older.
The object in the distance resembles Nikador. Is it a weapon?
No, it's called... Right! The Geological Reconstruction Unit.
Just Giorios' Titankin? Disappointing. You're spreading gossip about me.
It's all thanks to you that we survived the crisis. The collaboration with the IPC is both an opportunity and a challenge. Nonetheless, it's an important step in our journey back into the universe.
This world was sealed beneath its sky just like Amphoreus was, and they only managed to reconnect with the stars when the Nameless arrived.
That IPC she spoke of, is it a more powerful organization?
Yes, the IPC conquered many worlds through trade and opened up a vast territory that way. There are many such powerful alliances beyond Amphoreus, and they all walk on roads different from the destruction. Coming back to the Supreme Guardian and her Belobog, didn't they find a peaceful way to enter the interstellar community?
That cannot be true. That IPC would never have grown so big on trade alone. It may pretend to be a wealthy merchant with clean hands, but I am willing to bet that it grew fat on gory oppression and bloodshed. Its path of conquest must have had no mercy for the weak and would have destroyed them if needed. Are you telling me that this snowland never thought about tossing its dignity to the wind and kneeling to the IPC? I will not believe it. I will never allow the Imperator's empire to be sullied by others. Amphoreus must become a power so strong that no interstellar foreigner would dare to look down upon us.
Imperator, Belobog isn't as weak as you imagine. Listen.
I indeed hesitated, but now I understand what we must do. Belobog must learn how to walk on her own until she no longer needs the support of others and can stand on her 2 feet among the stars. Even if I may not live to see it, I believe such a day will surely come.
They still have their dignity intact. One day, That hope will melt through the ice and help them into a prosperous tomorrow.
But the order of the cosmos is already set in stone. The old laws decree that only the strong survive, binding the weak in an unbroken chain, until they wither and turn to dust. Unless they embrace the power of the destruction. Amphoreus must shatter the old law and become the new order among the stars.
Speaking of the Order, another one of my friend's companions may be able to enlighten you further on that. Let's go to the next page.
I indeed hesitated. But now I understand what we must do. Belobog must learn how to walk on her own until she no longer needs the support of others and can stand on her 2 feet among the stars.
This next world is a nation of dreams. The first time I heard about that place, I didn't even know what to think.
Such opulence does indeed evoke astonishment.
This world is called Penacony, an eternal city built upon a land of dreams. It's also my friend's previous stop, where they went through a risky but exciting adventure.
Tell me about it then. That man standing afar has wings on his head. I am truly curious.
I wish to gaze upon the views of the Reverie Hotel one more time. I'll be just a traveler when I come back here again. And perhaps, through a traveler's eyes, even the things I once knew so well will feel strangely different.
Penacony is a land of the harmony, where all dreams and hopes merge and combine. It believes in unrestrained freedom, and that's how it lost itself in shallow delights. Then, this young man before you chose to rewrite its laws, using the power of the Order, hoping to shape a dream-bound paradise of perfect happiness.
Yet, the paradise of my dreams remains far away. Perhaps a brief journey with the Nameless can show me more possibilities in my search for paradise. As for what Penacony should look like, it'll be up to her. No, up to their trailblazing now.
It sounds like this ideal kingdom is no more.
That's right. The people chose to wake up at the end. You can't see tomorrow when drowning in sweet dreams.
This individual's law acknowledged only gods and constructs, leaving no space for humanity. And yet, the fact that he could accept defeat and resume his journey shows a rare self-awareness and clarity of mind.
You are also very self-aware, Imperator. Then you must know that the world promised by the destruction also has no place for humanity.
I am indeed very aware of Lycurgus's honeyed words of deceit. I have seen enough. Take me back.
As for what Penacony should look like, it'll be up to her. No, up to their trailblazing now.
Then let's wrap up this trip down memory lane with one last scene.
absolute wonder.
Isn't it pretty? That's our Amphoreus. Our world flows and meanders in this endless band of light. Though we were born from the designs of the gods and are not yet truly alive, the Chrysos heirs of Amphoreus still chose to stand against fate and carved a legend no different from that of humankind. Will you really renounce the heroes in this world's previous 30 million cycles, Imperator? Including even yourself. Will you bow to brutal destiny and allow that puppet master named the destruction to have their wish?
I know what you want to do, sidekick. You want to use that deliverer's memories to influence me and tilt the scales of law toward him and the two geniuses.
You really saw right through me, Imperator.
How can one rule an empire if one is incapable of understanding people's minds? I have decided on Law's final destination. However, before I move my next chess piece, before we go on, tell me this, sidekick. Throughout his Trailblaze, was there ever a memory of the ocean?
The ocean. My cradle. My home. You shall complete your conquest in the ocean at the boundaries of this world, and eternally slumber in the sound of tides. You shall eternally slumber in the sound of tides, and complete your conquest in the ocean at the boundaries of this world. Our prophecies aligned as flawlessly as a sea snake circling upon itself. An elegant loop, like a joyful hymn, like the circulating ocean current, like our two fates, like Amphoreus itself. The trial is over. So tell me, who will own the divine authority of law?
I won't give it to anyone.
What?
I am the law. Why should I give my imperial crown to any other? Both the Deliverer and the Theoros came from beyond the sky. They have no right to interfere with the lands I conquered with my own two hands. The law of Amphoreus shall be determined by Amphoreus's master.
What exactly did you see in the trial?
Everything. I saw everything regarding the rules of this world's operation. I saw the laws of extrapolation that Theoros spoke of. I saw the ultimate protocol. As long as I offer a sacrifice of equal weight, I can rewrite the laws of this world according to my will. I can turn good into evil, ugliness into beauty, and weakness into strength. Fate gave me a very fair deal. One rule change for the life of one demigod.
What are you planning to do?
You can't guess. We can conquer the stars without relying on any power from beyond the sky. We just need to make some reasonable sacrifices.
Your ambitions have already made so many people give up their lives for the law. And you're still not done?
I am determined for Amphoreus to stand on her own 2 feet among the stars.
You are beyond reason. You think such a simple and hypocritical statement can justify your atrocities.
There's no new without destroying the old. That's what you consider an atrocity? Ironic, for that is also the unchanging law of Amphoreus' revolutions. Ever since the Flame Chase prophecy resounded in the distance, fate has decreed for the Chrysos heirs to ignite our blood and illuminate this dark age. People would still be puppets of the old dynasty if it weren't for my conquests.
But your world doesn't seem to be any different from your predecessors. Bloodshed, tyranny, oppression. You're making the same mistakes they did.
Go and see everything for yourself. Go to any library I've built. Go listen to the rumors on every street corner. Go and witness how the Imperator crushed the old laws and forged new ones. Go and see what my conquests brought to this world. I cleansed the Chrysos War's filth and mended all the conflicts left by the Era Bellica. I restored Akima's might and allowed mortals and Chrysos heirs to face each other as equals in the Council. I punished all sins and rewarded all achievements. I smashed Talantin's shackles, united humankind to save themselves, and started the Flame Chase era. That's what the Imperator has done in her glorious life. So now, hearken to my final words. History will eventually forget Saridra, but it will never forget the Imperator's people or the Flame Chase era she began.
Final words?
Amphoreus is about to be destroyed. There's no time left for pointless debates. There is only one law I want to overturn to aid the final battle of deliverance. So I will only offer the life of one demigod. In the name of the Imperator, I command you one last time, Electra. Either sacrifice yourself for conquest, or pierce this tyrant's chest with your sword.
Thus, the Imperator concluded her final speech. At the end of her life, at the last moment before she stepped onto the altar, she gave her most loyal subject the choice to decide fate, just as she promised her compatriots before her very first campaign.
My blood flows in you now. Heroic compatriots, follow me, and we'll seize fate's reins!
The Imperator fell. Some say that the Dux Gladiorum turned traitor and killed her liege. Some say that she imprisoned the tyrant in a shallow pond of water, then left. Which meant the Imperator had to kill herself to rewrite the law. There are countless stories about her death. All we can be sure of is when the knight left the vortex, the Imperator was still mumbling about their past conquests together. The beginning and the end of her existence.
Imperator, wait! How could someone of your status come to the front lines? Let me be the flag bearer!
The troops defending the pass to the west of the grove, have they surrendered?
They ran as quickly as they could when they heard your name. The Golden Cocoon Pass is now in the First Legion's hands.
Good. What about the Delosian militia?
The Third Legion set fire to the mountains and flattened everything west of the basin. They just need a few more days.
That is enough. We cannot afford to miss an opportunity for victory. Lastly, how many Laedonian cannons are left?
They are no more. The Second and Fourth Legions have destroyed them all.
Very good. They now have no way out, no reinforcements, and no artillery support. We will be able to liberate the Grove of Epiphany in the blink of an eye. We will launch the final charge 1 quint after the curtain fall hour tomorrow. Remember, as long as the Alliance's flag still flies on my shoulders, you must keep moving forward. Take no prisoners among the enemy's soldiers. All sages who resist are to be captured and tried according to martial law. And do not destroy any books. Now go! Notify the entire army.
Understood. Those who are resolved to die, we salute you.
Reporting in. The mountain dwellers are resisting fiercely, and the legendary Mountain Breaker has personally engaged in battle. Their formations are nigh impenetrable.
Then cease our frontal assault. Send scouts to all legions and tell them to retreat into the Tritos Plains before the parting hour.
What? Are you planning to surrender?
It's a strategic change of plans. The seismic walking dragon is enough for that battlefield.
Walking dragon? You mean that stupid beast, Terravox? What can they even do?
Stupid? No. They are the wisest of all of Georios' creations. Only they can perceive the currents of time. Let them deal with their earthly brethren. We will advance and take the lead in defeating what remains of our enemy. I will deliver the most fiery retribution for the humiliation they dealt us, and crown myself with a god-slaying wreath.
Understood. I'll see to it. Those who are resolved to die, we salute you.
The Temple of the Three Fates sent a letter, Imperator.
They refused to surrender and said this letter is their last warning to us.
Tell the commanding officers not to launch any attacks unless they receive the Imperator's handwritten approval. Disobedience will be punished by death.
Oh, what are you doing?
The priests of the Three Fates aren't soldiers, but politicians. Do not mistakenly believe they don't have a plan. These dying pests will wring out every idea from their brains, all for short-sighted gain. They are much shrewder than we are. I am inferior to them in that regard. They also have the prophecy to wield as a weapon, something I am not blessed with. Launching an unplanned attack will only disadvantage us, as all of Amphoreus will judge our actions. Which means I will be heading to the battlefield myself, just as I have always done. This time, however, I will go alone. I will conduct secret negotiations to ensure fate is on our side.
Understood. The legions will make their preparations. Those who are resolved to die, we salute you.
Why are we not allowed to march out with the army, Imperator?
This will be a long voyage with no return. Those of you who bear the prophecy cannot come with me.
Why are you personally leading this battle if it's doomed to fail? The Flame Chase journey cannot be without a leader.
That is correct. The Empire will be without a head when the Imperator falls. But remember, as long as you seize the right opportunities, even a chaotic game will remain winnable. My departure will create a long staircase for you. You will understand what I mean when news of my death reaches your ears.
Saridra, is our journey about to be over?
Destroy the old laws and forge new ones. My conquest has reached its limits within the borders of Amphoreus. Since the prophecy already decreed that the Imperator would never conquer the stars as she wished, I will bow out here and try no more. More Chrysos heirs bearing divine authority will be born, and many more heroes will arise. Will they demand peace or war? Will they resist tyranny or become the next Imperator? I do not care. The children of the future will decide for themselves. Do not mourn for me. Anyone can kill the Imperator. But the only one who can truly destroy her is Saridra.
At the end, I faithfully recorded the most important battles in the Imperator's life. Her conquest was about to be completed at this point in the story. However, for some reason, a memory suddenly entered my mind just as I was about to put down my pen. It was a journey on a fantastical train. I had the honor of having a heart-to-heart conversation with the Imperator under the stars, and I asked her this question at the end of that discussion. How do you want history to remember you? As a hero who gave up her life for the flame chase? Or as a tyrant? She answered so quickly, as if she had made up her mind long ago.
I would rather be forgotten than be defined. Because the law can be neither eternal nor unchallenged. And only humanity can pen laws into history's pages. Now, I have shattered the greatest law of Amphoreus. The game is nearing its end. Dux Gladiorum. Even though you killed the Imperator in the previous 30 million cycles, this time, you finally found your own law. Then, High Sealants, Electra. I will ask someone to deliver the prophecy's ocean at the boundaries of this world to you. Will you choose to swim into that ocean? I do not care. Do not care.
The Imperator muttered about her conquests, and news of her death spread in the city.
Freedom! Liberty! The tyrant is dead! Go! Shout this news in the streets!
Oh, my people, my fellow elders, do not panic. Stand your ground. That tyrant has paid for her ambition with her life.
People once cheered for my ascension. And now they cheer for my fall. No matter. I am fond of applause. I see the cosmos, the battlefield that I cannot reach. I will return in the next cycle. The stars will hear my legion's war drums. Hear the great name of the Imperator. Hear Amphoreus's Saridra.
To this day, we do not know which rule the Imperator overwrote at the cost of her life. Perhaps the truth will only be revealed at the moment of checkmate, just like every chess game she ever played. We only know her death inflamed Akama. On one side of the city, those who defended liberty toppled her statues to the ground. On the other side, her supporters put themselves between the masses and her monuments, declaring loudly that the sovereign is still among the people. It is said that golden blood congealed into the same letters everywhere they fought. It was the name borne by Akama's first and final sovereign, the Imperator Saritra. But the one who bore that name did not see any of this. Her gaze was cast far away, and the sound of tides in her ears drowned out the people's cries. What was the Imperator thinking about in that prophesized ocean at the boundaries of this world? In that shallow puddle of stagnant water, was she reminiscing about her past conquests? Or repenting for the millions killed for the flame chase? It was neither. The Imperator only saw how the surface of the water gleamed like that crude chessboard, dissected by light and shadow in the afternoon when her teacher played against her for the first time.
Look at this chessboard. What do the pieces look like?
They are strangely beautiful. They look like the stars in the night sky ablaze.
From that page emerged an ocean so vast, so pure, not a single trace of corruption. Is this Saritra?
Electra, my subject. Ever since you walked out of the tainted ocean and pledged yourself to me, I have seen the abyss in your eyes and the emptiness in your heart. That was why I promised you a new ocean, where the Imperator's ambitions would serve as the currents, and loyalty would be its light. Electra, my subject. You have done your duty as my blade. The prophecy has now made its final decree on the road I intend to walk. My conquest is doomed to never reach the stars. But the Imperator never makes empty promises. So take this memory, this ocean, beyond the sky, as witnessed by the Deliverer. This is the final gift that the Imperator can leave for her subject.
When I was still a fish in the ocean, I always felt so genuine swimming through the waters. But once I stepped onto land, I found myself caught in a play. Every land dweller wore a mask in their life. So I, too, donned a costume trying to find my role in this show. I became your blade in war and the violin strings at banquets. Do you still not get it? I do not long for the oceanic depths of my homeland. Nor do I crave the swelling seas beyond the sky. Perhaps even I don't know what I want. I still don't know where I should swim to even at the end. But I know one thing right now. A fish is simply a fish. And she can never leave the ocean she's in. But whether under the ocean or on land, we two prisoners who can never escape this cave can still look outside the cave and see the stars.
I have to admit, the 12-factor simulation of life in this experiment has far exceeded my expectations.
Make your choice then, Senior Society member. Do you want to keep walking down the wrong path and be remembered for your incorrect conclusions? Or do you want to return to the audience's seat and give yourself, Amphoreus, and the entire cosmos a more fitting end?
I must refuse. A dead man never fears death.
Did I not make myself clear? Have you forgotten about our dear Lord of Silence? You wouldn't want her to consider your 8 other clones as cancers within the erudition and chop them all up, would you?
Your logical deductions are vastly different from mine. Therefore, allow me to provide one more academic recommendation. Listen, my peers, why don't you look beyond this world, just as the Chrysos heirs did? Re-evaluate your calculations and take into account all enemies in the upcoming war among the eons. Amphoreus is not a place where 3 paths entangle, but where 3 paths fight to the death. You used Memoria to resist me, but did you not consider the possibility that the Remembrance and their children might have taken this opportunity to join the fray as well?
Oh, so this isn't just silence. It's the answer. What was the last thing he said to you before you parted the waters at the Scale Gorge waterscape? A tricky question, but one with a simple answer. He didn't say anything back then, right?
That's correct. And now I'm sure. You are not March 7th. There's no way she would remember that detail. I'll only warn you once. Leave her body. Now.
How impulsive. That's not like you at all. Why don't you calm down and think about another possibility? I didn't take over March 7th's body. Rather, it's March 7th who regained my memories.
Back then, the tides of the Chrysos War had not yet engulfed this city-state of Talenton. And the young princess inside the gates once loved to roam without worries. She snuck into forbidden grounds while the servants were away, but was shocked by what she saw on that day. A chessboard, a stack of pieces, and a strange woman. The board dissected by daylight and shadow, the pieces polished from rough stones uneven.
Fancy a game? If you are my match, then I'll call you my friend.
The stranger's voice was husky and coarse.
If you can beat me, then I'll call you my teacher.
The princess proudly retorted. Despite the bravado, the princess had never touched chess. The defeat made her study in earnest, acknowledging the other as a teacher. Well, first she learned the knights, bishops, rooks, and queen. Then how to defend, attack, capture, and checkmate.
I have learned all there is to learn.
Barely out of childhood, the princess raced into games of chess. Those who looked down on her faced many losses. Those who glorified themselves forfeited in a mess. At her prime, none could rival her at all. But she still recalled what the stranger said.
My origins bring dark omens, so never tell others where your teacher is from.
Then, the waves of the Chrysos War washed over the world. The Achaemons welcomed a ruler. She was deemed Imperator and loved to play chess with herself. She regarded all things as pieces, whether Chrysos heirs or Titans magnificent. Before every god-slaying campaign, she thought of the stranger from her childhood, as if that woman had always lived in her mind.
Isn't it lonely to play chess against yourself?
The princess did not understand at the time. But now, she who bore the crown finally realized. The flame chase's beginning was like fuel being tossed onto the fire, and in the unending road of marching banners and war cries, she finally had the time to meditate. There were often jesters behind the king, curious about her past in her old city lost to time. One claimed the Imperator was cruel, executing her own teacher. Another stated the Imperator was biased, learning from an enemy hostage. Many such rumors abounded, with no origin found.
No matter. That was indeed the criminal sentence I read out.
The Imperator stated evenly,
My teacher was an enemy hostage whom my elders had imprisoned. Her state betrayed our alliance and must be executed according to law. But she taught me chess, so why can't I chisel the word teacher on her tombstone now?
when the princess personally cleaned up the possessions of the dead, she caught sight of an incomplete game on the ground. The stranger's hoarse chuckle still echoed in her ear, laughing at the eternal fate of imprisonment, and at how the one facing her was the princess of the enemy.
Is this your final game for me, my teacher?
The princess imagined the end game over and over. Even when she took the imperial crown, she still dreamt of the black and white board. The concealed truths suddenly dawned on her during a more difficult contest in the future. An unfinished game might be the opponent's lifelong barrier. The Imperator's army stormed into the northern states for the first time, passing through city gates scorched by war.
Another tyrant still!
So exclaimed the angry child. The rock tossed from up high hit the girl's crown. The crowd shrieked and retreated, fearful of a ruler's flames of fury. The girl reached out, not to straighten the crown on her head, but to help up the child shivering in dread.
I heard in the old laws of this land, whoever assaults the crown shall be punished. But I wear another land's crown. And your old laws should also be abolished.
After many days, the gold weaver discovered in shock that wearing a crown or a hat to the side was now this land's fashion, likely to remain with the Imperator's name in tradition. The so-called heroes with golden blood in their veins all have the qualities to fight for the core flames. Who's to say this was not the gods' plan? To have the heroes at each other's throats so the divine could hide in old law's lair and laugh, play, and gloat. Who made this world a chessboard and with one stroke, one river, created the boundary between God and man?
Dux Gladiorum, Dux Carminum, Dux Helcalithist, Dux Fragoris, Dux Brumalis. Heed my call!
The girl stood before a mighty army with her scepter.
Today, I will insist on crossing the Rubicon. Gather the might of all heroes and begin the journey to slay gods!
Half of the core flames were now in her hands, and the hidden trickery titan stirred, leaving taunts. The Imperator summoned the heroes to discuss, finally stopping after much hesitation. As they had already pinned down the bones of Earth's beast, they let that thief live for a bit longer in bliss. The warrior of the fractured blade laughed boldly.
Our sovereign is good at open strategies and struggles with trickery. But where is that live fish?
The Imperator replied with a chuckle.
Her? She probably disliked the scent of cats and submerged herself in the baths.
The years spent with her dukes didn't seem too far distant. Yet only after the end of many wars did the heroes discover how the Imperator's form walked more and more alone.
The road of a ruler is a lonely one. One day, we'll only be able to see her retreating form.
The Swordmaster of Singing Waves was worried too. When all others had departed in intoxication, the two of them gazed into each other's eyes, towards torrents deeper than their fates, and sank into profound silence.
Drink one more cup with me, my dear follower.
In the end, the Imperator first broke the silence.
When compared to the taste of salt and blood, I sometimes miss your ambrosia.
About the destruction soon to be born and the eternally occurring extrapolation, the anti-Catherans spoke of all this in words unceasing.
So this is the old world I must fight against.
The girl's expression bore no sorrow or tragedy. Instead, she looked more solemn and ready than ever. Whoever stated the two kings could not meet face to face in chess?
I am the sovereign of Akama. I once faced the gods. So what do I have to fear about the laws hanging behind such gods? I will chop up the old laws and let them be firewood for the new.
No matter the cost. That was the Imperator's lifelong conviction. Never changed, always persistent.
I dreamed that the Imperator's statue stood before the world-wearing altar, her gaze level with that of the gods. Then, blood gushed out from the statue's orifices, and the people, in cheers and elation, washed their hands in that golden blood. The tyrant's life will end with violent death. None will weep, and all will cheer as her statue topples. She will die before the dawn comes.
A vengeful aristocrat, one whose title was stripped by the Imperator, thus spoke.
We cannot agree with your excessive deeds. You have imprisoned Trebios' split selves, demanding that divine authority regress into the ruler's mouthpiece. We will reveal your future with the prophecy. And tell in truth, your crusade will indeed be a smooth path. Yet in the same breath, we see omens of your death, a demise in an absolute pure darkness. Even so, please excuse us, as our eyes continue to be drawn to your crown's flames. Dux Fatorum. We don't exactly hate that name.
In the name of Yanissopolis' priestess, holy maiden, and oracle, thus spoke the Imperator's Dux Fatorum.
Allow me to remind you, your life is now on a countdown with the fall of law, and you will become law. I must confirm, is our deal still going strong? Is the future I promised you more satisfying than the future in the prophecy? Ah, you are as resolute as always. Good. Oh, as ever, this prison of gods, Amphoreus, and all mundane and average worlds need someone like you, a daring ruler. Let us end this despicable extrapolation together.
Amphoreus is Theoros, the Imperator's co-conspirator, Lycurgus, thus spoke.
The Imperator betrayed the Flame Chase Alliance. And I was the sinner who paved the way for her achievements. Like how a deep-sea fish cannot escape the tide's push and pull. I granted her an end fitting for a tyrant. Her dying smile gazed towards my tear-swelled eyes. She commanded me to wash away all sins and filth, and return a blinding dawn to the holy city. She commanded me to set up stones and monuments, in lightless seabeds to commemorate our friends. But who will remember her achievements? I will rest with her in a lonely song.
Electra, the last heir of the ocean, who played music on the waves alone, spoke thus.
Please record the truth of my life, dear author. No need for words of praise or solemnity. Just as I once instructed Dux Carminum, the histories of rulers are not for recording our merits, but for warning future generations. As for why the Imperator died, and what reproach she would face in life and death, those should be left for the new world to judge. Now I have personally entered my end, a self-flagellation. Let the boiling gold covering the holy city be stamped with my name. For I am certain I have won half a move against the gods. And this unfinished game will be left to the future to reach completion.
Saridra, the only Imperator the holy city had ever seen, spoke thus. My friend, have you heard of the rosy celestial maiden? Whether in a corner of the archives or in the depths of a cave, you can always find legends about her. She had hair like a rosy pink dawn and a smile that could thaw the most glacial ice. Some say she was Nikador's nemesis, while others say Nestia was infatuated with her. Oh, mysterious and beautiful celestial maiden, how I wish to turn into a slate, forever etched with your tale. Many claim to have seen that celestial maiden, either in the half-remembered dreams of early morning, or in the gossip and whispers after supper.
She once whispered in my ear.
She once saved my life.
She gifted me an ice crystal!
Her worshippers recite her deeds, even writing some into family teachings. Curious poets ask up and down the land, only to find that the details of these encounters are difficult to recount, even for the witnesses themselves. In the entire holy city, there are none who can provide proof of her existence. It is not known since when the Celestial Maiden was always mentioned together with time. People recite her name during prayer to beg for miracles to appear faster. It is said that even in the selection of priests of time, girls with pink hair are preferred.
They still didn't pick me! Maybe I need to go dye my hair.
The brunette candidate was upset, but the examiner responded with a smile.
Don't forget the Healer of Twilight. Has a head of pink hair. She's a descendant of the sky.
Scholars and poets discuss at length the origins of the rosy celestial maiden, but all mothers tell the same tale. That princess came from beyond the sky. Her shooting star, like crystal ice, pierced the fog of the Vale of Evernight. She made friends with the Titan, and whenever the month of Evernight descended, they would meet again. The children love that tale. Therefore, As the moon turned and shifted phases, the story became true. But someone always questions, unable to read the air.
There are no worlds beyond the sky. So how can the rosy celestial maiden come from there?
Rosy celestial maiden, a world beyond the sky. The reckless adventurer takes out the photo stone, claiming it is the true work of the rosy celestial maiden. The citizens laugh at this tale, with few accepting it as true. After all, long before the guests beyond the sky arrived, the legend of the rosy celestial maiden had already covered the world. So, my friend, have you really heard of the rosy celestial maiden? In the years spent wandering the earth, the giant dragon always remembered the Titan's words for their worth. The beasts of the land surrounded it in protection, while twisted beings shuffled and roared, and delicate chimeras climbed up its shoulders. After the tiny humans came into being, they dashed alongside the giant dragon, then, in the blink of an eye, disappeared across the land. Yet the deep irises of the giant dragon saddened in gloom. The ancient creature saw, earlier than the Titan did, hidden in the deep ocean, the incoming doom. The giant dragon recalled, at the moment that strife was born, the chalice of plenty sighed, and the heretical tide spread from the seabed. Bearing their bone-gnawing pain and agony, Georios tightened every fiber in their body, no longer hearing the call of their creations clearly. The giant dragon once swore an oath at the Titan's breast. And now, the dragon silently turned and departed, leaving the plateaus and mountains of a secluded world and entering the bustling cities humankind crowded. Thousands of years later, the giant dragon realized those tiny creations of Kefali had rooted their civilization in time.
How can there be such a huge Dromus?
Dromus? No. That's a walking mountain of gold.
Curious residents were amazed at its appearance, while greedy brokers calculated its value. Yet the giant dragon simply walked in leisure, not harming a single building of any stature, nor paying heed to anyone. It quietly listened to the people's language, and its form dissolved in the flames of war. Many years later, Akula closed their eyes, and the giant dragon's steps were finally halted. A swordmaster who broke the waves stopped its way, and a ruler, commander of the chessboard, looked up with inquiry.
Are
Are you the Dromus that has been attacking all states?
The commander invited the giant dragon to hunt the divine flames together. The giant dragon nodded, but it did not look at the commander, and never mentioned where it came from. Its timeless sight had already seen past the Flame Chase's final plight.
Georios shall be executed here!
The Titan, in a painful daze, closed their eyes with a sigh. Suddenly, the mountains shook and the land cracked. The wounds dealt by the black tide, once mended by the Titan, now tore the land apart again. The calamity of lands asunder. Who should shoulder such a duty? The giant dragon sunk into the earth in answer. For the earth was the breast of Georios, and the dragon's birthplace. And from that day forth, Amphoreus had a new legend of how a giant dragon collected the broken lands and once again made the earth whole. When entering the Flame Chase's currents for the first time, all the Swordmaster saw were colorful fish. She had already experienced the Imperator's dangerous games. She had long grown used to the giant beast's silent face. Carminum's charms and Helcalithist's gentleness warmed her like a spring breeze. But as Fragoris missed his throne and Bramalis debated with joy, she was sometimes at a loss. Occasionally, the Swordmaster would sink into hesitation, and even that messenger of fate could not get her to laugh. Till one day, a golden trout's bubbles floated into her gloomy waters. In that holy city where golden figs grew, the messenger of fate led to her a maiden dressed in glamorous gowns.
What kind of clothes are you even wearing?
The girl snickered behind her hand, while the messenger pulled on her sleeve.
Aggie, don't be rude!
Such hubris, delicate fish. Are you not aware that there's food on your face?
The messenger's eyes opened wide.
Aggie, you've been snacking behind my back again!
Exposing me like this? I'll get my revenge.
The girl ran away in a fit. The Swordmaster smiled, and before she knew it, her hesitation was gone. After that first meeting, the richly dressed girl often came in greeting.
So, you really came from the Sea of Souls? Do all the children of the ocean dress funny like this?
The Swordmaster did not chase the girl away, but also did not respond. So the girl used her hands to meticulously measure the Swordmaster's torso all around.
You can't be seen like this. I'll send you a new dress.
Some days later, the Swordmaster appeared in finery at a ball. All were awed by her splendor, with only the Imperator thinking in wonder.
How rare to see you like this. oh so lonely Gladius.
The Swordmaster's wardrobe grew full, and people praised Akima's Gold Weaver for her cheerfulness and splendid skill. But only the Swordmaster noticed that the smile on the girl's face gradually faded as the flame chase progressed. The calamity of lands asunder added to the girl's weariness. The Battle of the Grove robbed the light from the girl's eyes. Yet another feast arrived where the Gold Weaver was absent. The Swordmaster donned the most majestic garments and gently knocked on that door shut tight. The singing voice of Dux Gladiorum hailed the prelude of the feast. Guests clamored and cups clinked, and only the Gold Weaver had no thought of enjoying the ambrosia.
Who would have thought? I've sunk so low that I need you to comfort me.
She gave a bitter chuckle next to the bonfire.
You were as gloomy as the bedrock of the ocean when we first met.
The Swordmaster held a tall chalice containing liquid pure, reflecting their two faces.
I remember you were once curious about the stories under the sea. Then allow me to use my songs to reveal the past known to none.
In the depths of the Sea of Souls was a kingdom of dancing ghosts. Its residents all had melodious voices, and music enveloped every ocean current. For the queen loved her people deeply, thus drowning out all sorrows and leaving only feasts and twirls. Only one rocky castle was silent, one belonging to the Princess of the Ocean, a princess named Electra. Were a monster of the depths to invade, the princess would raise her sword to engage. The people always rang her triumphs before she returned, for her swordsmanship was superb, never suffering defeat.
Princess! Come enjoy the feast with us.
The triumphant people raised their glasses, yet she declined with a smile and a wave. The children of the sea thought she was shy, but little did they know that in the dead of night, her castle too echoed with music. Though that music was loud, twisted, and invoked spite. Before a song even finished, the princess was already biting her lips, and the sea foam brushed away her tears.
All of your people sing and dance with skill. So why do I alone lack a good singing voice?
The princess wept, her face on the queen's knees.
The ocean's favorite child can control the waves and is invincible in battle. In exchange, Talantin took away your singing voice.
The queen consoled the princess, caressing the other's hair bun. Finally, she relented and took a chalice.
If you're truly troubled, then imbibe the honey brew in this blessed chalice and throw yourself into the feast at ease.
The liquid in the cup sat still, reflecting her loneliness.
Princess, come sing with us!
The people outside her window invited her warmly still. she finally ceased to hesitate, drinking down all the honey brew in one swallow and leaped into the crowds. She played music and sang, smiling and dreaming. When her song was over, it felt as if waking from a dream. The people rushed to raise their glasses. But as soon as the honey brew touched her lips, the princess plummeted to the ground, and her cheeks became rosy in drunkenness. The whispers of the ocean filled her ears as the princess fell drunk again and again at the prelude of a feast.
Seems like you still have not been able to get rid of that curse.
The gold weaver softly took the cup away from her hand.
If you want to enjoy yourself to the fullest, then leave this honey brew till the very end.
She smiled, then tilted the cup towards the gold weaver's lips.
Even if one is burdened with imperfections, I beg you to remember not to refuse that sip filled with fantasy and dreams.
She returned home after many years. The princess of the ocean stood alone with her sword drawn, stepping over the blooming blood of her peers. Before her, the creator of the sea sirens and the mother goddess of feasts was already sinking into the drunkenness of imminent death. When the blood pact of the law won over the ocean's core flame, the sea siren once again lost her melodious voice.
I'm willing to accept the final Imperial command. But it is a pity that our feast was ultimately a mirage.
The deep sea became a silent place of dwelling. Hugging her knees, Electra locked herself in. Savage and fearsome monsters swam past her, but none dared to interrupt her tragic dream. Till one day, a golden trout's bubbles floated into her gloomy waters.
Long time no see, Gladius. Icinans. Now you have truly become the ocean's bedrock.
Old friends met again, and new friends came in greeting. Many messengers came in company. The playful kitten hid behind the golden trout. The butterfly of the deadly shadow fluttered in courtesy.
If you don't mind,
The resplendent pearl sparkled.
we hope you can regain your strength and sing for the world once again.
Electra raised her violin sword in doubt, as the strings had long ago rusted and snapped. But a few golden strands cleansed all the filth around her, then stretched out to become new strings. The golden strings showed Electra that the world she loved was not yet silent, and the journey of deliverance continued still. Yet the path to the Sea of Stars would not be a carefree feast. The golden trout never met with her again, and the waves brought endless news of sorrow. Amidst the long wait, she remained bound by decree. All the flames had died out, extinguished until this world fell into eternal silence. And the wordless enemies in the deep sea were the audience of this rite, the Theors.
You already know that the world is just an illusion.
The sea siren gazed out beyond the heavens and once more raised her glass to fill it with honey brew.
Since the mirage of pleasures can only disappear like foam, when you return, will you save some ocean spray for me?
This was a city of festivities, where never-ceasing songs eternally filled the air. Chrysosaurs, demigods, and mortals all came to feast from the four corners of the world. It was beautiful and radiant, performing the sea siren's drama amidst the revelry. The siren once longed for the banquet to never end, yet she witnessed the music fade and the guests disperse. As a fish, she was destined to drift with the waves, whether amidst the surging tides of evil or immersed in the currents of the starry sea. Until a millennium later, when the fish from beyond the sky finally took their seat.
I enjoy banquets. How about you, little gray fry?
Mem. Me, Mem. Mem. Memmy, Mem.